On our first go around on this Ecto 1 roof rack, I think we did a pretty good job with the prints that I had, how I designed them, and putting them on. Of course it was a rush job because it was super hot outside, and it's still hot out today. But because I didn't do things like epoxy this Freon tank here, it started falling apart. We can't have that on the road. So I'm gonna show you what upgrades I made to this car to make it look better and last longer. So I went and redesigned and 3D printed a whole new Freon tank that's all one singular piece. Instead of having this piece that runs the risk of falling apart, maybe from the epoxy failing or something like that, this just happens to be one big piece, it won't fall apart, and I painted it a different color because honestly, this yellow looks way better than this orange. And lastly, I'm gonna go back and replace these straps because the fabric ones, they're kind of wiggly. The next thing on our list was the sniffer box. It was okay for the first go around, but you know what? It was a little ugly and it had this screws in here and the stability. I really wasn't feeling it. So I redesigned another whole sniffer box. It conjoins as one whole piece and you have this little flat piece here that I forgot to put on the last one. And essentially all you have to do is epoxy it underneath here and it's solid. It's not going anywhere. It's together. Then there's the heat sink. I messed this print up and I was too lazy to reprint another one. Well, guess what? I printed a new one. And then we have the storage tanks. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think it looks fine. But you know what? We still have the fabric straps on here and it's loosey-goosey. So let's get this rack down and start working on it. And everyone would say thank you to Shelby. We're never gonna see her in this video again. Bye. Thank you. You know, I printed this in a 4-inch diameter, and you know what? I regret that. I should have done that in a 6-inch diameter. But luckily for both of us, if you follow this link down below, it'll take you to this website, and you'll be able to use the code ECTO1 for 50% off your order to build your own roof rack. Now, let's get back to putting this one together. How do you do this? Okay. Voila! It looks so much better and it's far sturdier. The problem is I only bought 4 and I needed 6. Now we're gonna work on putting the 4-inch tubing onto the other one that we have, and I got some tips on how to do that because let me tell you, PVC is hard to cut straight. What I'm doing is I'm taking a metal band, lining it up straight and tightening it down so that it gives the saw a very straight guide. Well, it's mostly straight. This goes, and then we're gonna take these little hanger pieces to connect it on the bottom. Now I know in the last one I said that the screws were ugly, but you know what? The one here is very important. So I don't think that me or anyone else is gonna really worry about a couple screws hanging out of this one, as long as it doesn't fall off your car and hit somebody else. Moving on to the heat sink, this one's actually pretty easy. We just put it on where we had it before and just screw it back in. Look at this. It is looking absolutely beautiful with the yellow Freon tanks. We have the new sniffer box assembly. We have the radome that never changed because it's perfect. We got our new actually fully printed heat sink, but you're gonna notice that we're missing a few key components like the satellite dish that goes back here. We're missing an actual fan instead of this water pump pulley. And we're missing the Texas Instruments box that houses all the little switches and the wires and stuff. And unfortunately, we're not gonna do that today. Fortunately though, you're gonna hit that subscribe button and you're not gonna miss out on the videos that we'll be covering, making the satellite dish and the box and actually getting a good fan over here. So hit that subscribe button and I will see you in the next one.